Here are the pros and cons of doing Airbnb. 1, you get higher rent.
Absolutely true.
When you do Airbnb, you're gonna get,
It's probably close to 3 times the net of your actual income that you earn on it. I would say it's usually double the gross amount, just to kind of give you some perspective.
you're gonna get higher rent than you actually get from you doing long term. For example, like a typical house, you can probably get about $4,000 a month in Seattle. But if you do Airbnb, you can probably get up to like $8,000 a month. So you're gonna make better cash flow doing Airbnb, no question about it.
And to be fair, the cash flow is going to be contingent on your holding costs too. So it depends on what you bought it at, what your utility costs are, you got management fees. And if you're in some states like Michigan, beware those property taxes. Man, they get high very quick and they can really eat into your profit.
No question about it. Number 2, tenant. When you do Airbnb, you're gonna have tenant go move in and out, like a hotel business. If that's what you want.
So with Airbnb, I love it because you don't have tenants, because tenants get rights, and when tenants get rights, they can screw you. I know this because I started with long-term rentals. I still have some, but the bulk of my portfolio is short-term rentals now. And I've been through, I think, 3 or 4 evictions in my career. I'm going through one right now. And it sucks because, you know, I know times are hard, but that doesn't mean I have to pay for where you live. And the guy is trying to act like, I've been paying your mortgage for years. And I'm like, no, you've been paying something that we both mutually agreed to do. And now you're choosing to not and or unable, but doesn't mean I have to suffer. And the way he's doing it, he's pulling both of us down, which is not cool. So we're evicting him. And unfortunately, that's just how it's gonna have to go. Meanwhile, with Airbnb, I've had 0 evictions. And the problem with evictions is it can last months of you not making any money and paying for somebody else to live. You gotta pay for your legal fees just to get them out. It really, like, you get the most screwed when you have to go through an eviction as a owner. So that's why Airbnb is way better. You get higher nets. You don't have evictions pretty much ever, but it is possible.
Or you do long term, you put them in one time at market value, and then they basically stay for a long time.
And that's not true either. Like, I mean, it's true. If you have a long-term tenant, definitely they can stay longer. I'd say on average, we usually see like 3 to 4 years. However, you are still limited at the best potential revenue you can make on that. You know, if you can make $200 to $500 a month on a long-term tenant, but you can make, I don't know, $600 to $1,500 net, sometimes $2,000 to $3,000 net, depending on the scale of property you're doing. I don't know. Like, I think that's a better win. It's much more reward. I don't know. You may argue some higher risk, definitely higher holding cost in the risk, but not necessarily higher risk in terms of getting screwed, unless you're dealing with cities that are going through intense regulations and are pretty anti, and you have a neighbor that hates you. Neighbors will crush you. Watch out.
Tenant will be now for like 10 years. 3, active versus passive. Look, if you do Airbnb, it is an active business, okay? You got to oversee your staff.
Pause. Every business is active when you're starting out. Every freaking business. You want to be successful, you got to put some work in. Now, that being said, after it's active, after you get it up and running, depending on how you have it set up, especially if it's managed for you, just as passive as long-term. So you can make it completely the same level as long-term, especially if you have a property manager involved, which we also offer. So in terms of active, between long-term and short-term, it can be absolutely identical. Both can be super frustrating. And honestly, I think the bigger headaches, the longer lasting headaches are still long terms, because when the eviction does happen, and inevitably at scale it's going to happen, that's hell. Now, meanwhile, if you have a one bad stay with Airbnb, you got a weekend or 2 to figure it out. And it's annoying, but you get through it. I'd say on average for the total stays we've had, less than 1% go negatively.
And you got to run it like a business, which is fine. Now, long-term tenant, okay, you put a good tenant in it and you let it pretty much ride. Put a property manager and they oversee it and you are good to go.
Again, same thing, right? If you put a property manager in either one, you're good to go.
Pros and a con. You figure out which works best for you for your lifestyle.
Come here. Ace, Airbnb or long-term? Airbnb or long-term? What do you think? Exactly, they're equal. I've been trying to tell you guys this whole time.